Hi, my name is Harriet, and you won't believe me, but I don't feel any pain. And before you ask, no, I don't mean I have a high tolerance to pain. I mean I can't experience it at all. You must wonder how I came to realize this fact. If I never felt it, how did I know something was missing? As you might have guessed, I found out in the worst possible way. Let me tell you my story. So when I was younger, I seemed like any ordinary child. I loved watching cartoons, hated homework, and was always running around outside. The thing that wasn't so normal about me, though, was that I was always so puzzled when I saw anyone getting hurt on TV and at school. They would scrape their knees or cut their arm or get punched like in the Power Rangers, and they'd go ow and ouch. They'd fall on the ground and sometimes even cry. I just stood there and wondered what they were doing. At first, Mom just thought I was really brave. Some kids handle stuff better than others, you know? That all changed when I slipped off a tree in our backyard while climbing one day. I had a nasty fall, and Mom came running toward me, so worried. But since I wasn't crying or anything, she figured it wasn't so bad. That was until she saw my arm. It was completely dislocated and pointing the wrong way. She screamed in horror, and I just looked down at it, confused. "What's wrong, Mom?" I asked, and she seemed like she was about to start sobbing. "We need to get you to the hospital," she cried, but I didn't follow behind her. "I want to keep playing," I protested. I was feeling fine. But my mom forced me in the car and rushed me to the hospital. To her, this was a really big emergency, but I was as cool as a cucumber. Of course, the doctor was as confused as my mom, and after putting my arm in a cast, he decided to run some tests. "We need to examine your child's brain," he explained gravely, and I could swear Mom was about to faint. That was when we learned that I had been born with an extremely rare condition. Basically, it had destroyed all the pain receptors in my brain. Well, the thing is, after that incident, I had a big problem to deal with. Instead of allowing my arm to heal by taking it easy, I just kept running and climbing like it was no big deal. Since I didn't feel any pain, I didn't realize it was getting worse. I ended up having to undergo surgery to fix my arm, and Mom had to follow behind me to make sure I didn't move it around. Though at first blush, the idea of living a pain-free life may sound appealing. No stub toe agony, no searing ouch when you're learning to ski, ice skate, or scale mountains. Because we all know it's inevitable that you will fall down, and hard. And let's not even mention the agony of a broken bone or the misery of a migraine. But I soon realized it was a big responsibility. Why? Because in order to avoid really harming myself, I had to learn to be conscious of my body and constantly check for wounds and injuries. I had to stand in front of the mirror and check that I hadn't actually scratched myself or harmed my eyes. I have never been able to run a bath for myself. My mom has to run it for me and check the temperature. I also had to cut off my food and let it cold for minutes before I ate it. My teachers treat me like I'm made out of crystal, and I'm not allowed to practice any sports. The thing is, by the time I became a teenager, I simply had enough of being careful all the time. I sneak out and ride my bike without Mom finding out, and she doesn't know I practice parkour when no one else is looking. I became somewhat of a daredevil, knowing I could get away with anything, and if I got hurt, I could simply go to the hospital, right? Well, Mom wasn't quite happy about that. Since my dad had passed away a long time before, she was the only responsible adult in my life, and she couldn't take care of me 24/7. That meant I was in the hospital a lot. Not only did I love to feel that powerful adrenaline boost whenever I practiced parkour or tried out a new and daring trick on my bike, but I also was so curious about my condition. Would something be able to activate that part of my brain? Would I ever be able to experience that completely foreign feeling? I won't lie. Everyone says it's a horrible experience to go through, being truly hurt and suffering from it. But I want to know what it's like. I had more broken bones than I could count and had to undergo surgery 3 times before I turned 16. Mom didn't know what to do about it. She tried reasoning with me, grounding me, even pleading, but nothing got through my thick skull. As I grew older, though, and became more conscious of the daily rituals I had to fulfill to be sure I was all right, I realized how difficult my life would be as an adult. My healthcare primes would soon be through the roof, and I had absolutely no way of knowing when something was wrong. If I ever get pancreatitis or a heart attack or something dangerous like that, I have no way of knowing. I'll ignore the signs because there won't be any, and I could end up dying. Also, whenever mom isn't around, I have to have nothing but takeout. Why? Because if I cook and accidentally burn myself, I won't notice. That can lead to a bad infection, and I wouldn't even realize that was going on till it was too late. I just can't help myself. I know how dangerous it is, but since I don't feel any pain, I need some kind of stimuli to make me feel alive. When everything's quiet and boring, I feel numb. I'm not like the other kids my age, and though I should be thankful for my condition since it means I will never suffer, it makes me feel isolated and in constant need of new experiences. Sometimes I ask myself what will happen when I turn 18 or 21 and move out on my own. What happens if I hurt myself in the middle of the night, or burn my arm while cooking, or go into the shower when it's scalding hot, or if my house burns up in the middle of the night? I don't have any way of knowing something's wrong. It scares me a bit, I'm not going to lie. It also makes it super hard to have a boyfriend, since most of the guys at school are either scared of me or think I'm a freak. I'm always pushing myself to experience new feelings, and they are intimidated by this attitude. It makes dating really hard. Mom tells me I need to try to be like any other normal teenager, but it's easier said than done. I've gone through more stays at the hospital and trips to the ER than most of my classmates put together. Whenever mom's around, I have to be extra careful, and life seems to get so boring. So though I love her, I'm happier when she's working. One time she saw me running with my friends, having fun and giggling when I suddenly tripped. I didn't hurt myself or anything, just scraped my elbow a bit, but she freaked out. Ever since then, I'm supposed to just walk anywhere. Mom would freak out if she ever discovered my secret passion for parkour. Everyone who knows me has such strange questions, and honestly, I don't want to answer any of them any longer. I just want to be a normal teenager and think of prom instead of having an alarm in my cell phone to remind me to check my legs and arms for cuts and scrapes. I wonder if one day I'll be able to grow used to my condition, but so far, it's more of a hassle than anything else. Sure, it can come in handy from time to time, but if there was a pill to fix me, I would take it in an instant. Thanks for watching. What would you do if you couldn't feel any pain? Do you think it's a curse or a blessing? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.